Do you want to talk anything about Google and SpaceX? I know we were kind of talking about that yesterday. I also did a story on that in the A block here today. Did you want to talk about that? Your thoughts on that?
Sure. Because they had earnings yesterday, and they a big concern there is that they're ramping up CapEx even more. They had lift their CapEx guidance, and they expect they're going to spend even more next year. That was one of the things I think is really hammering down the stock. In addition to that, there was also another capital raise that they're going to be, or an at-the-money market offering. So that's subject to if they actually need it. There's a reason why it's called an ATM, at the money, or at the market offering. But they don't plan on using that right away. So they still have a buyback program. We'll see if that gets paused. But one thing that really stood out was that massive EPS they had. And I think that's going to create some downward pressure on the stock, because that may be just a one-off, like a one-time thing. And what that was about was the company reported a 98 billion net unrealized gain. And there's really only one thing that I think that can come from, and that's their stake they have in SpaceX.
Also Anthropic, by the way, which is something we didn't discuss yesterday.
No, that's not true, because that is private.
Okay.
And SpaceX became public. So in the second quarter, which is what the earnings they were reporting, that is the public equity that rose and gave them that financial figure. When Anthropic finally IPOs, then we'll get a net unrealized gain from them. But the thing is that they can't sell those shares yet because they're locked up. So I'm going to be very interested to see what their 13F is going to reveal, because they didn't have SpaceX on there in their last 13F because it was still a private company. Now it's a public company. And I'm curious to see if they ended up buying shares in the second quarter, at the end of the second quarter, in order to lift the stock price into the end of the month. Because if you look at the chart, you'll notice that there's a rise the final 3 days in the month, and then July begins and we start this slide. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because when you at the end of the month, if you have the equity higher, then you have a higher position. You have a higher amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Value of stock, and that's what you end up reporting. Now that it's lower, it's likely going to be a lower amount that they report. We also have share unlocks that are happening, so they may end up selling as well. So there's a lot of things that can happen that's going to be different compared with their next EPS compared to the one they just reported. It's likely going to be lower. So I think that creates a reporting headwind. There's a lot of different things going on here with that SpaceX, and there's a whole there's a partnership here with Google and SpaceX that would take a lot of time to get into, but it's really, really fascinating what they've got going on. And if you are interested in finding out more yourself, you can look into Project Suncatcher.